mark for me.
Yeah.
Where normally against Tundra, I think it's Doom is your first ban, and then of course the second ban is that's where you show some respect. They are first pick.
You don't show respect in the first ban, only in the second.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first ban's for disrespect. But you're right. It's gonna be Ooredoo from Thunders with the first pick, so they get to have a little bit of pick their poison. But it does leave the Nature's Prophet in the pool for Tundra to snatch up for themselves now.
Why not? Like, it's left in there. I believe it's very flexible as well, right? Like, the Prophet can be on offlane, safe lane.
Don't forget it is Tundra, so I don't.
No, they definitely go more on here.
It's like right now, the
Gyro.
Rubik pick is to mitigate potentially the Shaker +1. If Nature's Prophet is picked from Tundra, we've seen it only play carry. We don't really see 33 play it too often, at least in his career. So, of course, he can play it, but
It's
I
a
think
matter
Ooredoo
of
could
time.
go back rider
It's a
quite
matter
easily.
of time before he starts, right? Like, he
Yep.
plays all the micro heroes.
No, that's true. That's true.
Needs to pick it up. But I liked your idea as well, Mirana. Definitely.
Io.
Io Storm.
Yo.
Whoa.
Oh wait, are we watching?
Are we
old
watching
school-
NA?
No, are we
Yeah.
watching NA. Is this Evil Genius's old school bubble draft right now? What the
Oh, that was
hell?
literally like I can't.
Listen has brought it with him.
Yeah, exactly.
Go on, get him up the panel.
I can't remember which night because they all kind of meshed together, like casting from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Does that to a man, but I've seen a couple of IO storms. So
Have they been successful? Do you remember too much?
some games
success rate of it?
they have been, like Storm in particular, because he was playing into heroes that he's really good against, like into a Tinker. But some games, actually, I remember in particular Storm played by Dandy versus Bryle, I believe, on Puck. Storm did not have a good time. In NA though, for what it's worth, yeah.
The key thing with Io Storm is like Io, of course, loves to enable heroes who want to be aggressive. You obviously help with their mana pool as well, HP pool. So that's where the mid-game synergies will come into play. The thing now for Tundra is they need to make sure this Io actually has like a laning partner, so that you get to kind of take the brawl in mid lane, you give this off lane or carry like a good time, and then you sync up with your Storm to make these quick plays. And it's already why I love the bounce from Ooredoo, where some position 4 Tiny, where you look around the jungle, you set up engagements. Now you're relocating potentially some Storm in, some like big Sven-esque hero, obviously not Sven, but that type of archetype, then it does simplify the game, and Nature's Prophet as well. If the lanes are pushed in, it gives Io such an easy time to get the correct relocate or to position correctly. So I think so far, Ooredoo, quite nice bans in the second phase.
I want to talk about Storm Spirit a little bit more because despite you having seen it quite a lot, Liz, this is actually our first one right now in Western Europe. And I feel like there is a lot more emphasis on him just in other regions, or at least in pubs and things like that. I just have heard a lot of people talking about it, and so I want to know why you think this pick rate has increased a little bit more. Not so much here, but in other regions.
I haven't seen him do well, so I can't really tell you. So far, the Storm Spirit games haven't been the greatest. Like, yeah, into a Tinker or something, you can hunt him down, you can kill him off. But in a game that's kind of rough for a Storm, he didn't look too great. However, what T mentioned earlier, and he has this battery with him, right? Like, it's the Kotal or the Io. If you can combo Storm with those two heroes, he's a completely different beast. It opens up the itemization, it opens up the aggressiveness early on in the game. Obviously, he's going to do well, or at least he should do well with an IO as that position 4 or 5.
I like the Primal Ban from Tundra here as well. It was something that Ooredoo Thunders likes to pick up for themselves. Definitely in the realm of comfort for them.
Is it? Do they like to 4 it, 5 it, 3?
Or do 3 it and Manas before it.
Okay. Because I've seen it everywhere at this point, right? Like, from the mid lane, position 4, off lane. Like, the hero is very versatile. What does he need? You need a BKB on this, bro, and he's just running around, trampling everyone. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah. I'd like if Tundra pick up some. Normally, I'd say like a melee hero to scout the fight, but the other option they have is going, let's say, like a disruptor on position 4. Now you can threaten the puck with Static Storm the entire time, and then you make sure your offlaner and your carrier, the heroes that get the information, potentially something like Beastmaster down the road for 33 or something. But Tundra will be able to close out the next 2 phases with counter picks, and they have like a little bit of flex with where the IO. Realistically, it should just be a 5, but I think there's a lot of creativity that Tundra can use with this opening, and for Ooredoo, I think they need to make sure they don't run into an issue of just not having any damage. Because when you have Puck Rubik in your first, it's good setups, good control, but with an IO, you need to make sure you continue going down that line of more damage, more damage. Because if this is your only damage potentially, and they kind of missed her off, they could have some issues. And yeah, there's a disruptor.
Liking the color aesthetic that's going on for Tundra.
I like our color aesthetic as well.
Yeah, I like what we look like on the panel too.
Traffic light panel. Stop.
Yeah, okay, with the disruptor, it's
I'm doing it.
Slow down.
It was actually wait, this draft like from Tundra and Disruptor and Storm. Okay, Io wasn't there, but it was literally the same thing that Bait got into the puck of I believe TSM. And it didn't work out that great. Like Puck had an amazing time. He just purchased a BKB a little bit earlier, and Disruptor wasn't an issue. But obviously, you need to have a good time to go for that. You need to have a really good time to get that.
Silence. Okay, so of course against Relocate, it's going to be pretty good. Tundra right now, they're heroes if they're in an aggressive position and then get globaled. You know, arguably non-existent, and Disruptor IO never really itemized as supports to, you know, rebuttal that, but
Relocating with the storm into a storm into a global silence sounds abysmal. Yeah, doesn't sound that great.
5 seconds remaining.
What else could Ooredoo Thunders? Like, we have our supports, silence of most likely 5, Rubik 4, or at least like somewhat interchangeable here.
I'm still seeing a lack of damage though now from Ooredoo.
Yeah.
And this was my concern, because I still feel like if Ooredoo pick another weak hero here, Tundra just pick Beastmaster, like I mentioned earlier, and it's like, cool, you're going to global when we jump, but what if we just don't ever jump and we just aggressively position throughout? So that's why they go for a tide, I think. They needed to pick something that, again, it doesn't provide damage, but it prevents that Tundra ball up, which is they run at us, they poke out a global, and then they crush us. And now it's like Tide is the offering. He will soak up the initiation, and Silencer now can global when he actually knows it's a good time and not, uh-oh, they're on my puck, global. So I don't mind the Tide, but again...
Because they really needed something up front, right?
Exactly, yeah.
From the offlane. They needed something that stands in front of their towers when the aggression comes. Like, you have these 3 heroes, Rubik, Silencer, Puck. They're not really... Okay, Puck can initiate, but these two really need to have a lot of info to play around, which is... coming back to T's point, but do you just get like some ranged glass cannon here into Ooredoo on your carry?
I mean, you could always go for an IO Slark lane. Sounds pretty good against Tide Rubik.
Also very possible.
That just sounds very, very powerful, and it's got enough poke and prod and nuisance that it should be able to bait out those spells that we mentioned.
What else is there? There's like Slark, there's Monkey King that do well into the Tide, right? On that position 1. Monkey also left in the pool.
Yeah, Earth has been banned out. That's if they want to go for a more aggressive approach in regards to the laning phase for Tide. I think that would actually be a pretty good answer, because if your Tide has a bad lane, and then he was the hero that was meant to kind of cover the jumps from Storm and protect the squishier supports and prevent global being wasted, if you do pick up this like laning bully, it can delay those timings, but depends if Skidder wants to play.
I do like what... How do you pronounce it? Ooredoo, Ooredoo?
We're going like an Ooredoo right now.
Ooredoo
We could just
right
say
now.
OT.
OT,
as
okay.
well.
Yeah, I do like what they've got, but...
Yo, let's go all in on the blue here.
That's so blue.
But yeah, Razor.
What happened to you guys? I was usually the one
Making the jokes.
making the
I just see your face and I
crawlers
have to
come
make the
at.
jokes, Lizard.
Yeah, you
What
just
can I
have to...
say?
Yeah,
What can I
yeah,
say?
okay, sure.
It's
What
just the
else is there?
vibe you give off.
What else is there that's left in the pool that's blue for Tundra?
A lot of
can
heroes,
they get?
and there's Weaver, there's Night Stalker, there's Baden.
Visage, if they wanted to put Razor
yeah.
carry, Visage offlane.
Yeah, there's
But
technically a Lich, but yeah.
They will, right? Like this should be your Razor and Io versus Tide.
Correct, yeah.
You could also Razor and Disruptor. Like you use the link and then you glimpse him back, like in the lane. Anyways, you're skilling glimpse into anything right now, especially into a Tide.
No, I really like Tundra's lineup. Just like we're talking about carries that can annoy Tide. It's now Razor is that hero. Razor will go, let's say, first, second item BKB. So now Io and Razor in tandem will just rip through Ooredoo. And I warned people at the start, like Ooredoo will have issues if they don't draft damage and ways to do it. And I'm not seeing it still.
Do you think, like with item progression and stuff, they might have enough sustain?
I don't think there's time for them to get items to do this.
Okay.
It's like the fact that one item on Razor, you now need like 2 or 3 items. Yeah, it's like whatever tier 2000 is playing, it needs to be some like Drow morphling as carry, or you see Tundra bang out morphling that can be on the back lines, eventually buy a Skadi, and threaten the fact that Tundra don't really have stuns, and their aggression comes through positioning and just being in your face. And obviously, heroes like Drow morphling, they're really good at it. And maybe you could argue like a sniper-esque hero, but
I feel like Drow sniper.
spooky. Yeah.
But then we were seeing the issue with Drow is like she does go a lot of defensive items before she even goes towards the damage, and so even then she's really on a timer that she doesn't really want to be putting out. Well, she won't be putting out too much damage until 30-40 minutes.
It's just that you're playing into the Razor, right? So you need to think that way, because if you do get a melee core as well, like there's a chance that Tundra switch up the lanes, they put the Razor on the offlane, like it can be a bit rough for you.
Also going back to your point, Drow's damage comes through time as well. So in these type of games where they have a lot of time, it might be acceptable because they'll be kiting and wait to position and do it. But again, it's an uncomfortable pick. Like, don't get me wrong, there's not a pick here for Ooredoo which is like, damn, we feel amazing right now.
Is there anything new in Europe, by the way? In NA, everyone is complaining.
You're seeing all the new stuff right now.
Anything. Like, well, it's not really new.
It's not new to you. It's new to us. Silence is new. Storm's new.
Is it?
That's actually about it. Yeah, the first time both of these series.
Oh, I mean, in the last season, like from the last patch, Storm was picked a couple of times.
I see.
Wasn't really popular,
I see. You mean
right?
from last patch. Sorry, my bad. My bad. Yeah, no.
Hasn't really changed.
one
But
tick
they go
There's
with
Drow, sure. Yep.
It's kind of obvious because they banned out the Lycan as well, right?
And the
you
Beast
really
Mode,
don't want to be ran at. And right now, Tundra, what do they need? Just a casual offlane to round things out. Like one problem that they do have is that they have to play the tempo, right? And they're playing the tempo into the tide. So if the tide has a decent lane, you might find yourself crushed into the watermelon. But
Enigma, it's close enough for the colors.
But this is...
into a Rubik, into a global set.
Yeah, so it's like they're picking Enigma not because of the black hole.
They're picking a Greaves hero.
Exactly.
That's it.
Like
just build auras.
I've seen this draft or this Enigma pick in different by other teams, not naming any names, in different divisions in Europe, and it was really bad. But when I look at Tundra's lineup, I don't care if they pick whatever offlane they pick, as long as they pick auras and it can take a tower and be annoying. The rest of the draft should play out. Like, I'd be surprised if we even see like one good black hole in this game, but it just complements the aggression and the fact that they will always be able to.
They did it for the colors, man. Come on, 100%, all blue.
Thank you. I'm glad you agree with me. Push doing business.
We got it.
Where do you sit though? Do you want to go for the all blue draft on the side of Tundra? You think they've got that advantage over Ooredoo Thunders? You don't like what Ooredoo Thunders went with at the end of the day?
It's a very Ooredoo lineup. I mean, these heroes, they look good on paper, but I'm just scared.
They're going to be here or here then?
I just can't see them surviving after laning phase, how annoying Tundra will be. And it's like, Drow, yeah.
I'd actually go with Ooredoo if I didn't see the names of the teams.
Okay.
Like, I like their draft. It's not that bad.
That's also true. Yeah.
Puck should have a good time. Like, you are playing with a Tide that can just position himself to defend against the aggression. Then again, you're playing into Tundra, so I'm going to go with Tundra.
Yeah, Tundra being undefeated right now, they do have that slight little advantage for themselves. They got some momentum going, but Ooredoo Thunders, they could break that at any point. They seemingly have a decent draft, so we'll head on into game number 1 between these two teams with our casters, Beacop and Lacoste.
Thank you very much, Nat. We're coming into the game. Should be fun. Ooredoo Thunders and Tundra Esports. I don't want to, mess those names up anymore. Enigma Gaming.
We can simplify Tundra and Ooredoo Tundra.
Okay.
Just to make it more easy.
Okay, I thought you were going to go a completely different direction with that. But, yeah, we're coming into this first game. The drafts look pretty good for Ooredoo Thunders, and I kind of want to favor them. I know people on the panel were saying if it, I didn't see the team.
Why are you favoring them?
I don't know. It's just I
like different colors.
I like rooting for the underdog. It's always like Rudy, a good movie. I'm always rooting for the underdog. Not sure you guys know that one, but yeah, it should be a fun time in this game as we see the 5-man smoke, of course, going to the bounty runes. And while we go to the bounty runes, we're gonna hear a little word from Noob talking about why he likes the Dire more than the Radiant.
Usually for Roshan, Dire is better because of the outpost. It's very close to Roche, and Radiant can be better if you get the outpost later on in game, but Dire is technically better because of it.
See, he likes Dire, and Dire gets first blood. Yeah, that works out really well. Staking goes down. Going a little bit too far there, and they might also know that he placed a ward on his way over to dying.
Yeah, they might also know that the Dire has significantly higher win rate over the Radiant, which pretty much everybody does at this moment. Glimpse back.
Yeah, Radiant needs...
I'm disappointed. Saksa starting with Glimpse instead of Tundra Strike. I'm just kidding. No, Glimpse has been way too powerful of an ability lately. It's just overbuffed. Like, you deal so much damage, you can trade well. He's also starting with the same items as Fishman likes to start, where he is putting more pressure with the stats. And yeah, we didn't talk too much about the matchups. We do have Enigma played by 33. He likes to put himself in a very difficult spot to play the game. Just Enigma into Rubik and Silencer. It's going to be more about the auras rather than play around the black hole.
See the odds brought to you by esportsbet.io, favoring Tundra over Ooredoo Thunders, and it's quite a favorable odds shift for them. You know, you were saying that Saksa was going into the Fishman build. When you were playing, like, or even still today, like, do you hear, oh, you know, have you tried the Fishman build? Have you tried the Lacoste build?
Yeah, it was a thing. You know,
Like-
someone invented it, and you had to give him credit for it.
Yeah, so I wonder how much these teams kind of look into each other and they just talk about builds based on the player specific.
Have you gone for Lacoste build? Yes, I did multiple times. It's a 0 farm, 200 GPM in 60-minute game. Yeah, that was the build.
That's not true. I've seen the highlights.
Now, but back to this one. You know, Tundra, they do have a very mobile draft. They can move around the map quickly. This is Storm plus Io, so you will have mana regen. And looking at snaking, he also wants to give a bit more mana to Storm Spirit, so going for Soul Ring. And we see now the power of this Disruptor. Glimpse is available. If he managed to glimpse him back, could have potentially be even a kill if it's a max one. The A2000, as we already said multiple times, he is this ranged hero specialist, playing into Enigma. A relatively good matchup, I would say, having this multi-shot against the Eidolons.
Now, we've seen him on range carries a lot. Feels like it's definitely his niche, and games they lose, they're usually not on range carries. Comes back on the TA2000. The artist formerly known as Naive will go down to 33 as they pull him back with that level 1 glimpse. Gory is going to be able to run away with
He's
them
also
not
dead.
having the glimpse, but now that he's level 2, they do have the kinetic field, and that means the running stops, and 33 gets a double kill.
That was very naive of Drow Ranger to get that close. And they also got level 2 after getting that kill. If Enigma, like, I guess he was not respecting Enigma. He thought maybe he's not close to level 2, gets Malefice, they even get a second kill. Saksa will glimpse it back, stay away from the XP. And now, with the double kill on 33, that's a really good start. Has Headrest of Rejuvenation, going into Mana Boots next.
He's also got that, you know, maybe they weren't respecting him because he's got that, the surrender flag extended from his cosmetics that we saw with the XXS a couple days ago. So they're like, oh, he's waving the white flag.
Yeah.
Might as well try to play aggressive, right?
He's playing Capture the Flag right now. Look at him.
Okay. So at that
He
point,
got it. That's why they want to kill him.
Yeah. If he's holding the flag, that's the guy you got to go for. And, well, they tried. End up losing both heroes top this lane. So far, 8-5 here for the Enigma. TA2000, he's still CSing all right, but you definitely don't want to die again. That would really shut down the lane. Bottom lane, snaking here with Skitter. And on this Razor, not the most popular hero at the moment, but still holding some meta space for himself. Oh, Saksa to get some damage from Kaori, but TA2000 is in trouble. They have the damage to get the kill onto the tower. One more right click will do it as 33 now on a killing spree.
And
He has
Saksa's
all
gonna live
3
as
kills
well.
here for Tundra.
Oh man, glimpse back.
Glimpse, maybe not anymore. Arcane Curse, but the Eidolon's doing the damage. Foreseed that Fairy Fire and get under the tower, just surviving, but, well, Saksa will end up going down for the punishment of using that glimpse.
Didn't have too much mana or HP to work with, so he's gonna be fine. Dying there, nothing of like big value was lost. Silencer's still gonna be very low on HP, very low on mana, so once Disruptor comes back to the lane, it's gonna be pretty good for Tundra one more time. Looking at the mid lane, pretty even in terms of CS. 9 doing a good job. Like, you need to be aware of rotations. Once Puck hits level 6, you'll always have this Dream Coil that Storm Spirit will be afraid of. Global Silence as well. Multiple layers of silences, like one coming out from Drow Ranger as well.
Kaori trying to survive, but not looking likely as gets up on the high ground, but will fall to 33, who's now got all 4 kills. So nobody else getting any kills at the moment, but he's 4-0-0. Having a great time over in the top lane, and well, Enigma having this great of a start is definitely worrisome if you're Ooredoo Thunders.
Doesn't have like the most CS, but he has 4 kills to his name. So right now on 3rd place on the network chart, and they're probably going to try to play aggressive one more time as soon as they get Eidolons going.
Yeah, so just thrown in the denies. Core's
I
gonna be
love
close back.
these casual glimpses. Maybe he's going to come back to base, probably not. Pro players, these are professional E-athletes that learn how to count to 4. So once you TP, you want to stay in the fog of war.
And that too, like, it's just casual damage, right? Like, you're throwing out a glimpse, it's 85 mana, it's not that bad for the damage you're getting.
This spell is going to get nerfed for sure. It just seems way too good at the moment.
That seems to definitely be the priority of the disruptors that we've been seeing. And Kinetic Field is up. 33 still running in with that Malefice, and we don't exactly have a lot of Eidons, only 3 for the moment, but TA2000's in trouble going back down. South is Corey.
Now Corey is dead if he gets body blocked.
Yeah, this is multi-shot, 33. Ooh, dying to Corey. So that's a lot of gold for him, but 9 shows up, gets a kill on the TA2000, and looks over at the Silencer. Last word and the last right click for 9 as he gets a double kill, while ending up to trade this Enigma.
Yeah, they're playing so well. These and also not losing too much. Oh, they might lose snaking here because Puck is level 6, and Noob will not be too afraid to use Coil to be able to secure that kill. So, in terms of trade, in terms of gold, I think pretty even overall. But yeah, just and he gets his bottle refilled. So one more time, he can start to farm up the jungle or go back to the mid lane. There is no catapult for Puck, so he can feel pretty safe that there's not going to be any damage dealt. And Snaking gonna TP mid one more time, refill his bottle, tether up. Now 9 is full HP, full mana.
Double refill. 1 top, 1 mid. That's service. Always having that bottle full. Going Orchid first on this Storm Spirit. Is this the build you want to see in this game?
I was thinking about Orchid the other day, like how the item is not popular. Most of the time we see Falcon Blade to have extra mana regen, Witchblade Kaya. Like sometimes we see all 3 of them. But with Orchid pickup, if he is committed for it, this is going to be a huge issue for Puck, which kind of puts Puck in a situation where he needs to get defensive item, otherwise he dies, or they need to follow it up with the Global Silence. Lim's back.
Yeah, Saksa, he's changed to go to the bottom lane. On Static Link, telekinesis from Omar, and Noob's come over towards bottom. He doesn't have a Dream Coil, but that's not going to matter. The damage they're doing, finally it's off cooldown, and he immediately uses it.
A bit too aggressive. This is level 2 Static Link, and you're also playing into level 2 Kraken Shell. So in terms of damage dealt to Tidehunter, he did block quite a lot of that one. They definitely need Storm Spirit. Like, they need 9 to match up the rotations from Puck to be able to, like, get stuff done. Because right now, Disruptor, in terms of damage, he's relatively limited. IO, of course, doesn't provide you with much damage. So right now, seems like 9 and Snaking will be playing the jungle together. Try to farm it up, get some gold going, get that timing on Orchid. And they also find Trusty Shovel. Good item, great item. Just to refill your bottle, potentially. And Mango, something the Storm definitely needs.
Yeah, but they also got the best one, Seeds of Serenity. Vortex pullback on a noob.
You got the haste.
So that haste refills the bottle. 3 heroes here for Ooredoo Tunders.
OT bringing numbers, but Puck, if he didn't use that coil bottom, because it was already like a secured kill on Razor, this could have been a kill on 9 as well. Even with the haste rune, I don't think it would got him out of the trouble.
Yeah, you would have had a little bit extra lockdown and control there from the rest of the team showing up. Unfortunately, used it to get that last shot onto the Razor as it came off cooldown bottom. So, Noob, he's doing quite well. Top of the net worth with the way the lane went. Definitely didn't see the game being so close considering how top had gone. But Ooredoo Thunders have done a good job of really just equalizing the game throughout the first 9 minutes of time.
Speaking of 9 minutes, here comes 9. About to get a kill here on Omar. Omar's Rubik has been pretty damn amazing so far in the DPC. Tour 1, Division 2, and now in Tour 2 as well. And Noob has been also like super stable. And looking at 33, this is where we want to look at. It's so satisfying watching a hero farm jungle creeps, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it. I'm a big fan of multi-stacks. It's like one of my favorite things is when you see a hero stack like 3 camps at once. Everybody gets hyped for 5-man black hole. I get hyped for 3 camp stack efficiency. There we go. They're on the same level, truthfully. So 10 minutes into the game, 9 comes bottom with Snaking. Skitter also around as maybe they want to get a kill here onto the Tidehunter, but he is holding on to Ravage, so not the easiest kill to get, even with 3 heroes around.
Yeah, Witter not messing around this time around. I've seen Tidehunters with Meteor Hammer. Sometimes it does tend to look wonky. He is going for straight up mech, which I really like. Wants to be able to tank up as soon as possible.
Dream Coil snapped and the Illusion Orb hits. They've got the tether. So Nine's going to be able to ball landing out of the high ground. Still got that Arcane Curse on him. Snake King. He's got tether up in 2 seconds if he could survive and go over, but Noob is there, and it will kill off this Io.
Thank you, Snaking, for this big sacrifice. 9 also bought Blitz Knuckles, not showing what he's really going for, because you might think it's going to be Witchblade, since most of the time it actually is. And now without Coil, no Global Silence available, Tundra might try to look for a fight here.
Yeah, they'll go for Omar first, and a lot of quick damage. Telekinesis is going to stun up 33 on the way down, but he's got another kill onto Omar. They get just that for the moment, but with the Eidolons here, they can potentially push this tier 1 mid. So they've got mech, they'll have some damage.
Not the easiest task. TA2000 also coming here. I love this move. Multi-shot will be available in a couple of seconds, but just in case they decide to go for it, he's got to be ready to defend the tower. OT so far, really nice moves across the map, keeping things even.
And I think they're doing a really good job. The whole time, too, they've got Soxa farming top. So they've got this Disruptor, now level 6. Is this what you want to see in terms of what he's got queued up? Arcane Boots into the Glimmer Cape?
Yeah, I think you need to be able to survive. Might come in very handy once they decide to jump in with the coil, follow it up with the Global Silence, another layer of silence. So you want to keep, like, this is mostly bought for Storm Spirit until he gets his BKB. This type of a build on Storm Orchid, like your second item, most likely will need to be a BKB just to get through all these silences, be able to break the coil. I love their Wars line, it's so good.
Yeah. Gotta let it just soak it in. So smoke from the puck of Noob, as well as the Silencer coming over to maybe get a kill on a Skitter. They're still holding on to the Ravage, but kind of getting this Sixth Sense as he walks back, but
ooh, he got slowed down. Every single time Noob made a rotation with Coil, it was successful. They got some kind of a kill from it. Now with the Witchblade, this is going to amplify so much of his damage. There is Relocate available, so Tundra can play a bit more, or at least try to play a bit more aggressive. Silencer is level 6, didn't put the point in Global Silence yet, and now he did. So they can stop the Relocate. Tundra will need to try to split up the map, because right now they can't fight into this overwhelming team fight from OT. Mech has been finished on Tidehunter, just needs to use the Courier, but mostly they are giving respect to Global Silence.
yeah, they end up trading tier 1 towers in the safe lane, so this is right now just an even game, and for which team does this benefit the most?
We still haven't seen like full 5-on-5 engagement. I do like what they got on side of Tundra, like carry to carry matchup. Like in terms of lane matchups, I thought that Razor might have done slightly better. He did shut down this Tidehunter because he is the lowest net worth core. Global Silence immediately, as expected.
Yeah, they're trying to get the kill here on the 9, and they'll go over to the side. They've got the Static Storm down from Soxa, who's on the low ground.
Relocate
They'll
back.
9 out. Got the glimpse again, pulling it back into the Static Storm, at least trying to. These heroes are gone, and they're not looking to re-engage off this tether relocate.
And now it's time for Tundra to play aggressive. They do have Black Hole, so you could potentially get it off. Corey looks very dead here, even with the magical one shot. Never mind, he's low on mana on Storm. Didn't have enough to zip in, get the Electric Vortex. So this is also revealed of Orchid on his side.
It comes back with the glimpse in the kinetic field, but they still can't go into the tower.
Seems like they don't want to commit, giving respect to Ravage as well.
Yeah, he's got Ravage, he's walking forward. I almost thought he was just going to throw it out. They've also got the rest of the team behind him, but nobody willing to make that start on the attack from Ooredoo Thunders. So they're going to smoke again.
They want to take a fight. It's just Global Silence that they need to be aware of. Ravage, if he's not there, Omar.
He seems to be the one who's been tanking these ganks, which honestly isn't the worst thing in the world. He'll go down, Noob turns this and gets a Dream Coil on the 2.
That's a big one.
Last time they were able to escape with the relocate, but this time they might not be so fortunate. Gus comes in with a Ravage.
Clip Storm.
And Storm's gonna die too. Snaking and 9 both fall. Ooh, 33 the damage.
He's gonna die. Witchblade kills him in the base. Didn't buy Fairy Fire, I think. Thought he was gonna be okay.
No, he TP'd to the tier 1 tower.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Bit of a lag moment. He thought he was gonna live. Maybe if he put down Seeds of Serenity before he TP'd out, I'm not sure if it was off cooldown. But yeah, Puck in the previous fight, going ham. 2.2k damage already dealt.
I don't know why he didn't just TP to the base.
Greed, my friend.
It rules the world. So this should be a mid-tier one. After the glyph, sees the Serenity, heal up his creeps. They've got Disruptor coming over. How much they could do without 9 for 5 seconds, we'll see. But they've also got Omar coming in to back them up. And there goes the tower.
I like that Noob has a defensive item queued up on his puck. Flips back.
Damn, is this the guy you want to be going for? He doesn't have a Ravage. They'll start to really pierce through the Kraken shell. But Telekinesis, Static Storm, still not getting the kill onto the Tide. Ball Lightning playing this very aggressive.
It's going to be another layer of silence.
And 9 needs to be very careful now. If they start with that, he might just die instantly.
Not an easy game for Tundra by any means.
Yeah, that's so spotted too.
He got scouted by this Deep Observer ward placed by Saxa, so let's see if they manage to find something out of it. Right now they're smoking bottom. Skitter's BKB is about to be delivered. They need those BKBs. They need a BKB on Storm Spirit as well. Storm slightly underleveled because he was playing with Io. Like, they are tethered up, sharing experience, playing on a different side of the map.
It's crazy to see after the very good start that 33 had, he's sitting pretty low in the net worth on the course.
Yeah, didn't manage to find too, like, he did find those kills at the early stages of the game, which did kind of skyrocket his net worth, but ever since then they also kind of struggled to find the real farm. He also rotated to the mid lane. The first push was not there. It was stopped by Ooredoo Tunders, bringing in numbers. Now they have all the green dots available except Ravage, which is going to be up in 20 seconds.
You gotta remember they also have Static Storm to work with.
Yes.
Too. So Dream Coil comes down, Static Storm on top of that. I don't really know what you do to escape. And it's got about half the duration of the stolen cooldown on it. Static Storm committed with the kinetic field up. Again, they'll go for the Tide. Can they kill him off? He walks out, glimpse back. BKB's been popping.
They're committing.
They're committing. He had Ravage if he wanted to throw it. There was still the BKB going from Skinner, but maybe could have got the rest. They'll go after 33 and trade off laners. Into the fight in silence thanks to the Orchid coming out from 9. They go to the global and will force Tundra back. As they're retreating, they'll go and throw down that Dream Coil. Right-click, Skinner with no BKB. He'll fall. And they've got themselves two on the side of Ooredoo Thunders with a Saxa Disruptor.
No glimpse.
nearby.
He looks very dead as well here.
Ball Lightning, 9, Orchid, Vortex, might take out Noob, will take out Noob. They were in on this one and did not want to give up the fight despite the fact that they lost 33 and Skitter very early.
Rest of OT did not follow it up. Puck decides to go in. He was also like slightly careful about it, but rest of the team not there to back him up. And we see the, okay, another glimpse. This fight's still not over.
Yeah, Ball Lightning back into the fight. Oh, Gus, the silence. Oh, 9, he's in trouble. One more right click, don't get it.
Arcane
3-man
curse
black
on him.
hole. That's gonna be not enough damage. It's a good black hole, but they didn't have 9 to follow it up. Omar's gonna die to Saxa, but 33 is gonna be dead again. They go to the mech from Weeder, and Skinner comes in. BKB not going to be available as the Ravage comes out. He health it after he died the first time in this fight.
No, Skinner's in trouble. No BKB.
Right clicks, they get the kill to Snake King. They'll take out Skinner, and Sux is going to fall. A triple kill for TA2000.
Tundra, they thought that they have what it takes to take another fight. They're like, Global is down, but since they killed Tidehunter with the Static Storm, which is a great tool to deal with him, they did not pop it in the previous fight, as you said. So that means that he's going to have it for this one. And 7,000 damage by TA2000. Jesus Christ.
That is a very proper reaction to that amount of damage.
And he now has Hurricane Pike, so he can break the static link, which is going to be a pretty big one. They're fighting underneath the ward this whole time. TA2000 gets this beautiful gust, and Storm lives in the end. He survived on, I think, 30 HP, but you see the power of like this black hole. It's there, but no real follow-up damage.
Yeah, without having the Storm at full health, full mana, or even more than just 30 health, he's not confident enough to come in. Skitter's a little bit late to the fight, and the Hurricane Pike lets them hit, and they get those kills. They'll go to the Gust once again. Global Silence committed to this one, as well as the Dream Coil. Sneaking in 9, both fall again.
They're so quick, moving around the map, getting stuff done. Every single time they use global, they get at least 1 kill. Philly Stone, found by Omar. So he's gonna keep that one. He also picked up a very early shard. This is Arcane Boots, Fluffy Hat into shard. So he wants to be able to pull people out of Static Storm and Kinetic Field. And also, if someone is getting Static Link by Razor, that's gonna be a big one. Now going into what seems like, okay, he's gonna skip the Force Staff, get a Claimer Cape first, which I really like. There is big amount of damage, the magic damage on Tundra at the moment. There's a neutral item, Ring of Aquila. Skeeter, pick it up. It's still there.
Static Storm, Kinetic Field, Glimpse on the other side of it, but Phase Shift to avoid the pullback uses the Illusory Orb to go the other way instead. So, not the best usage of Static Storm. And Ooredoo Thunder is up 5,000 net worth. I want to say, I think they're in a really good spot in this game.
They really are. Next fight that they take, Ravage is also available. They could turn it into Roche. They do have enough sustain with Guardian Greaves. Saksa trying to TP out, planted Vision before he left.
They're grouping out. They've got this Arcane Rune on the Tide.
9 doesn't feel too comfortable coming into a fight before he gets a BKB, so Tundra's definitely going to wait for that one. Kaori, so far, in terms of wards, has been on point. And not just that, he's been moving around the map, involved in 15 out of 17 kills. Does have Glimmer plus Arcane Boots as a position 5, 20 minutes into the game, which is pretty impressive.
Makes me a little bit sad, though, that he's got no points in the Glaives with 15 kills.
Yeah, that's the only downside. You want to steal some, especially against Storm Spirit, who relies so much on his mana pool. Radiant using Scan to see if something is up, and someone just got into the range, so 9 and Snaking will fall back. TA2000 keeping Specialist Array. I think they also found another good tier 2 item. Let me just check real quick. Yeah, there is Brigand's Blade, but he is favoring this one.
You're a big fan of Brigand's Blade.
Brigand's Blade's the best tier 2 item.
By far.
Maybe Philly. Depends like which position you're playing. I'm all about that Philly money. But in terms of balance, Brigand's Blade just feels like the most imba.
Sox is here top. They've got this ward down, and I think maybe caught a little bit of vision on Noob when he stepped up for a moment. 4 heroes in this top lane, with 33 farming bottom. Not jaunting to that Illusory Orb, but they've got a good idea of where he's at.
This is going to be a full duration of this ward planted by Saksa on the top lane. Did not get dewarded, out of range from Sentry.
Yeah, it's catching some vision of what they're doing over there, but it hasn't garnered them a crazy amount.
It got them into those fights that they lost, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
it was a bait.
In the end, was it a good ward or was it a bad ward?
Good ward for vision, bad ward for one fights. It could be both. Noob
is under attack.
just continuing to farm as we see TA2000 with here with Weeder and Kaori.
2A2000 BKB finished on him, needs to be delivered.
Yeah, they're going to have a pretty solid BKB timing because they've also got the BKB from Noob about to be purchased in full.
What if they could see this light coming out from 33? Light cannot escape Black Hole, but in Dota, it can.
They just see this little flag peeking out.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. If that's a bug or if that's a cosmetic, because we've been seeing it lately, as you said.
Yeah, it's always with this weird Enigma cosmetic that it's showing up. Yeah, that one. The Twisted Maelstrom.
Where's the light coming from? From the head or from the chest?
The inner workings of Enigma.
Nicely said. TA2000 and the rest of the team, they are smoked up. This is going to be very difficult fight. If TA2000 is in a good spot, gets double multi-shot in a fight, I'm really worried. He also has, of course, that shard.
Immediately broken. BKB gets popped to turn this. The ball landing out of the back lines. They'll find Omar. Static Storm committed, but the Tide's not taking any damage, and they still have... No longer. Looked like they had Omar for a moment. The Dream Coil is going to be on a 3. It'll snap on 2. 33 in a bad spot as the Ravage comes
Only
in and hits him
one
on the edge. But can he turn around and get the Black Hole off? He don't really want to look like they can throw it because they've got the silence from the global out from Kaori. They'll take out
They
Nine, Skitter's gonna try and fight.
The
Hurricane Pike, Saxa, Snaking, relocate. Whoa, gets out, but Skitter's not gonna be so fortunate if they can stick on him. Illusory Orb with the jaunt over, and then Skitter will fall to Noob, and they'll wait for the relocate back.
Very difficult game for Enigma. There's so many tools that can stop the black hole. You're also playing into Rubik. Yes, Omar did die in the previous fight. He got silenced in the end. He used telekinesis on himself, tried to push himself away from a team fight, but got orchided. And now, as we said, one fight is all it takes. The A2000 will finish off that Roshan, pick up the Aegis. And I'm really glad that Noob has been itemizing like this. Blink Dagger after finishing off Witchblade. Okay, seems like Noob's gonna be the one picking, never mind. He made the slot just in case they push the A2000 or something happens, he gets glimpsed away so he can pick it up. But yeah, this BKB on Puck, I'm really glad that he picked it up because I've seen so many Pucks be victims of their own itemization where you are playing into Orchid, you are playing into Silence, and they try to itemize getting Kaya Sanj. Sometimes it's not enough if there's like maybe someone on your team that can't save you, can't force you out of the trouble. So he's getting the BKB for himself.
Yeah, I think you talked about this the other day. You were like, Puck players don't exactly love BKB.
No,
they want to rely on their own skill.
They want to get different items.
Yeah. I agree. I like this BKB pickup, and it has worked out in their favor so far. Another ward deep in the lane, but this one's spotted. So they've got this gem on Kaori. Saxa. Uh-oh. Well, you've been found out.
Gem is there.
They still have that gem, and they've got telekinesis to make sure you can't TP away. Finally, Kaori does have glaives, and he's already got 6 permanent intelligence still. So starting to take away the smarts.
Can't steal anything away from me. This is why I love to play against Silencer in the pubs. You can steal as much as you want. You're not getting any. 33 stuck in the same spot 2 times in a row. Wants to be using Demonic Conversion. Use Malefice with the Shard on Creep Wave to push it out. It's all about stalling the game with this first Aegis now on side of Ooredoo.
So bottom tier 2 looking in trouble. 33 is going to cut the wave with the Eidolons, and nobody coming over to try and get him as he'll look to stick near the lane.
Something that was talked about, we had an interview in Chinese DPC with Pichu, Siamese Cat. He talked about the importance of getting first gem. They used to pick it up as soon as they kill first Roshan, just to keep the momentum, get rid of enemy vision, so they have more ways like to punish them. And 33 again in the same spot, playing this split push game. Rest of Tundra on a top lane, trying to get as much farm as possible.
Yeah, that's something we saw a lot in China, right? Is just every team felt like they had a gem at 15 minutes. Entity is a team that did that in Tour 1 a lot too. They would get an early gem and have it on Fishman, or he would purchase it a pretty early.
You get the value back so quickly. You kill 2 wards, maybe you get another one later, you get 1 kill from it, and you already got the money from it. Noob now scouting things out with that invis. In terms of having heroes that can punish the split push, they really don't have much. Like, they don't have abilities that go through Magic Immunity other than Global Silence, so they can pop the BKBs after. And also in terms of lockdown, like instant stun on side of OT, they are limited. So this is the type of game that Tundra needs to play.
Tia 2000 will take the tower. He's going into the Lincolns. That's finished. Should be flying out in just a moment. Now, Silver Edge on the list of things that he wants. We'll see if he's making that list, if he's checking it twice.
Got that Lincolns, so can't be glimpsed, cannot be static linked. These are the 2 big abilities that he really is afraid of. Tundra now on top part of the map. OT would definitely love to take a fight.
Oh, right in onto the regen rune. That's where TA2000 was standing. Goes to the BKB, but not a lot of mana.
Anchor
Sliding away. Get on a 9. Ravage is not going to land. It'll hit Snake King, but 9's going to be able to survive. And that's really who you want.
Never mind, he had a BKB there, so could not anchor smash him. I got way too excited about it. They're still going to get a kill on Snake King, and they will finish off this last tier 1 tower on the top lane.
So still all Ooredoo Thunders. Not exactly the cleanest engagement there, as they would have liked 9, but They bait it with the regen rune. We've seen that a couple times. Gust, right clicks, just don't have the vision. Multi-shot, Omar in. As Saksa, telekinesis from Omar on a TA2000 to throw him on top of Saksa. And playing around these trees, but eventually falling to the laning rift of Noob.
Oh my god, that was such a nice play there from Rubik. Telekinesis on your carry. I mean, you can afford to go for a play like this because you know that one hero is already missing and he also does have Aegis available.
Yeah, not griefing at that point.
No, not at all.
But still don't do it to me in pubs.
Very important. Have fun. This is what Dota is all about. Can't have too much fun, though.
Well, there's the line between fun and grief. You gotta really... It's a thin line. You gotta find the line. Tier 2 mid. Not defended by Tundra. Allowing another tower to go down and no contest at all. Ooredoo Thunders just have complete control of the map.
Again, I'm liking noob items very much. Now going into Hex, hope he commits. Just to have that instant initiation, we saw how powerful it is. So far in the DPC, just to have like that instant stun, like Hexes so many times purchased earlier than we had in the previous patches. And now?
Smoked, but now they know exactly where they are. Laning Rift.
Can't really commit with a BKB, like Dream Coil, because let's see.
Here.
Okay.
BKB and the TP out, but the damage coming in for TA2000. They'll look for 9. They see him. Telekinesis and the BKB again. Ball lightning with a TP attempt. Both heroes forced to BKB just to leave.
No BKB piercing abilities to stop the TP with. Let's see if someone eventually decides to pick up a Basher. You know, some good old Tidehunter Basher, or...
That might work, yeah.
We'll see. Once Puck picks up his Hex, that's going to be like big tool. Just to have that first initial jump, follow it up by either Ravage or Telekinesis. Or they need level 20 on Puck, which he is very far away.
Yeah, he's only level 19 for the moment, but still getting close.
Compared to Storm Spirit level 16, he's been farming with Io, so a bit under-leveled.
33, gusted, and well, there's the Guardian Greaves. Ball lightning from Omar, and they'll still catch 33 and get the kill. This time he's not going to be able to cut the creep wave like he'd like, as there's that dire obs that was sitting there. Noob also finds Skitter. They've got the silence. He doesn't have a BKB. It's just happened top, and he had to use BKB before. So they will get both kills, and they will not have buyback on Razor.
Man, OT is very impressive. Not just this game, but also the games that they've been playing in the DPC so far. Their execution is pretty crisp. The only thing that can bring them down is bad internet. They seem to have some internet connection problems from time to time. Their ping is also much higher than the other players playing in the European West region.
Is Ooredoo Thunders a internet company?
Well, I'm not sure.
I'm going to have to do some research. It's either that or like an electricity company.
Yeah.
From what I understand.
Because they play from Kazakhstan, from Middle East. You know, it's just a bit higher ping, but seems like the problems that they have, they solve it quickly, and they're ready to go one more time.
So back into the game. And let's see. As Axe is being built for 9, you think this is a item turning pickup?
Could be. It's also one of the ways to deal with the Drow Rangers, so you don't have to care about the Lincolns anymore. And it's also potentially later on down the line a setup for a black hole.
10k lead. Ooredoo maybe waiting for next Roche is 30 seconds till it potentially spawning.
Tundra are also kings of playing this like long drawn-out games where they know how to get the farm. Let's see if they decide to smoke up, because everybody is in the base at the moment.
They might smoke to try and contest this Roche. But they also might want to wait for that Ag's completion from 9. He's only 50 gold away from it, and it will be 30 more seconds till Roche is up. Saxo looking to clean up some wards just in case if they have to go that way. But he's going to walk right into Noob, where he gets hexed, gushed, and killed.
Glimmer Cape not going to save him. Does have buyback available.
3 seconds till Roche. There it is, back up, and T2000, you can see how aggressive he wants to play. 9 with the ball lightning back onto the high ground. So they're all forced back again into their base. They just don't have much room to play with on the map.
I think they should try to force this Roche fight. Still thinking about tier 2 tower maybe. Noob is gonna kill the creep wave. tier 2000, very aggressive moves from him. Has Silver Edge, level 21, so extra multi-shot damage with that level 20 talent. They also don't want to give them chance to TP to tier 2 tower if they want to use buyback, so the run needs to be longer because there are no tier 2 towers available for Tundra at the moment.
It's given some time to get the BKB picked up on the Enigma, but still needs to work on just avoiding the global during the black hole and then finding the right spot.
Just avoid global, lol.
Yeah, well,
It's going to be a bit of a difficult task, but he does have a BKB, so he could pop it after the global. 33 needs to keep the distance and maybe try to land a big black hole after the Aghanim Scepter pull from Storm Spirit. Storm does a ton of damage. This is Enchanted Quiver, Witchblade, Orchid, so he wants to reset multiple times in and out, potentially get relocated so he comes back, but easy things to say.
Harder to execute.
Pretty much. Drow Ranger is just so farmed at the moment.
They'll put some wards on the high ground there. There's a sentry that's in between the steps. So we'll catch those obs if they do use some vision up there.
Skeeter
Wrap all the way around.
drawing on a mini-map. So far, Noob is in a good spot to break the smoke, and Buiter, he's also there with Ravage. They should know something is up. TA2000 has a pretty good read. Starts to hit on a high ground as well.
They're just going into Roche. They're going to try and take this Roche pretty quickly.
As soon as TA2000 showed up, they started to kill Roche, but this is not the easiest Roche taking lineup. It's going to take some time, and it will get scouted by Puck in the end.
Yeah, so they've brought it down to half health, which isn't exactly what you want to do when you're leaving it to a Drow lineup to then take it in 2 seconds. But nobody willing to go down from Ooredoo just yet.
Where could they possibly be? We've seen this time and time again where both teams don't want to commit. They want to hold the high ground, play around their vision.
Kinetic field not spotting anybody in the pit. Illusory Orb doing the same. Both teams hesitant.
TA2000 also pinging out high ground. He wants to push. Kills the creep wave immediately with the multi-shot.
It's kind of a bait. He goes to throw the multi-shot out. It's like, all right, he's going. And
last time when he showed up, they decided to go for Roche. So let's see if they decide to do the same thing again. Snaking will go inside the pit. Does have buyback. How many buybacks do we have right now? 6 at the moment.
So they'll move forward, 33 over to the side, they'll go to the Ravage. BKB's gonna be popped by 33. They've got the black hole, but immediately the global silence comes out. They get the kill on a 9. They'll take him away. The black hole thrown out from Omar right on Skitter. They'll take out a second. Both heroes don't have buyback, and 33 maybe feeling pressure to throw that black hole out immediately, as he's gonna be leashed up thanks to the Dream Coil of Noob, and they've got all 3 cores out of the fight.
If he wants to jump like this, he needs to catch Silencer +1. Otherwise, it's not working. And then still, there is counterplay. Rubik.
Saksa hexed up, Arcane Cursed, and should die, inevitably. They also get Roche at the same... Yeah, he was so quick to just jump in Black Hole, but Global hadn't been used.
Yeah, you gotta catch Silencer, probably even Rubik, because Rubik will steal it. Or you need someone else to jump. It's just a very difficult fight for Tundra, especially if they are not fighting underneath their own vision. And they kind of were a bit to the side, because they do have a high ground obs. And now Puck picked up that shard, so extra damage coming out from him.
And then a little bit of a pushback too. So going for the tier 3 top should be easy. These heroes, well, no black hole. I mean, no global, but still such a dangerous move to make.
No global, no static storm for 10. Razor does have a BKB available in a second. Seems like they're not going to stop. TA2000, Butterfly is done.
Vortex, Gus, 9 in some trouble. They'll go to the Guardian Creeps. They've got the global silence once again, and now Tendrils of the Deep puts them both into the air. They get the kill on a 9, and now they'll go over at Skitter, who's going to pop the BKB and fight TA2000. he's got a second life to work with, so it doesn't even matter if you get the first kill. They take out Skitter. Both these heroes die again. The static
33,
from
he used
Saksa,
BKB.
and they will get the
They
kill.
will
They'll
call
call
it.
GG, and Ooredoo Thunders take game 1 over Tundra.
This team is so good. I love watching this team play Dota. They're a bit different than
they're
the other
exciting.
teams, but they are very exciting. The like how fast they move around the map. And look at them on camera, smiling, very happy about this win, which they should be.